Welcome back, everybody, to the Cult Lords Protege Week. We are reviewing the movie Protege, starring Maggie Q and Michael Keaton.
And somebody else.
Well, Samuel
L. Jackson.
Sam Jackson. So,
Sammy, baby.
So we are reviewing that movie. A couple things. Dane, tell them about what they can do to help us.
Oh, yes, I kind of forgot. We're looking for subscribers. We've been stuck in the 120s. We need to get to 1,000.
1,000?
Please, please, please. One episode we're going to do on our knees.
Yes.
But we would love it if you would tell your friends, family, comrades, acquaintances, people that you've met in strange DM circumstances.
Yes.
Tell us about us. And then subscribe. There's a button down here. Hit it.
The red button.
The red button.
And guess what happened is they comment on this video, Dane.
Yes.
What does that do?
Well, if you comment by the date posted up here above our head, you will win the Blu-ray of the Protege.
I will have to say, that doesn't mean you will win. That puts you in a raffle.
Sorry, you're right.
That puts you in a drawing, and whoever wins the drawing wins the copy.
There you go, the drawing.
Yes.
Sorry, our official auditor.
Suddenly, we might have to send out 3 copies of the Protege because you said you're guaranteed to win.
All 3 copies.
All 3 copies from the 3 comments.
Your mom, dad, and brother.
Yeah, right? Mom, dad, and brother all getting a copy. Okay.
So we are reviewing this movie, and so this is Act 2. And what are we discussing now at Act 2?
Well, so Dane, this movie, The Protege, deals with an assassin, right?
Yes.
Maggie Q has been trained from birth to be an assassin. And that got me to thinking, what are the greatest movies surrounding secret agents, spies, and assassins? Mm-hmm. So what are the Cult Lords' top 8 this week? Top 8 secret agent, spy, and assassin movies.
Infinity 8!
Infinity 8, there you go.
Top 8.
So, I guess we'll start with you, Dane. What is your number 8 secret agent, spy, or assassin?
So there probably was some things that we needed to qualify, but we'll see how this works as it pans out.
Sure. What do you want to qualify right now?
So secret agent, spy, assassin movies. There's a particular secret agent who's got a lot of movies. Mm-hmm. Does this fall into this genre? Or
of course it does.
Are we keeping that out? Is this a special genre like Star Wars is not really a sci-fi movie?
No, Star Wars is always a sci-fi movie. Die Hard just isn't a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie.
No. So anyways.
Previous episode, you look for the debate.
So that's the Christmas episode. But anyways, so yes, and I'll let you know ahead of time, you're going to appreciate this. I didn't combine any movies.
What?
So like I don't say like, oh, I'm just gonna combine all these James Bond movies, right? If I like certain James Bond movies, I like name the movie.
All right.
So all right.
So my number 8 is Mata Hari.
Mata Hari. I don't know.
I love wondering what he's thinking at this particular moment. This is a famous Greta Garbo movie done in like 1931, where she is playing the famous Mata Hari spy / maybe she's not a spy in the 1920s. This is a famous. She was kind of like on the risque side. She did a lot of these like harem dances and what you maybe would call belly dances, which is very exotic. Obviously, it's a black and white picture.
So is she a spy?
Well, in the movie, she says she is a spy, but not for the good side. She's for the Germans. And so she actually got convicted and put to death in real life. But this is a famous person that actually existed in France. Oh. And so she was one of those kind of, and of course, from the
So Greta Garbo was put to death?
Well, Mata Hari was put to death. You said
in the real life?
No.
Okay.
It's based on a real life story.
Okay, all right.
Yes. Greta Garbo played her.
When's the last time you saw this movie?
10 years ago.
I've never seen this movie.
Yeah. So this is one of those classic black and whites, has a lot of Art Deco stuff. Greta Garbo at her best, probably, playing this European harem / I want to say
prostitute?
Well,
lady of the evening?
I don't know if you
socialite?
Exotic dancer.
Okay.
She probably had a lot. Well, in France, this stuff is all acceptable. She was a mistress of some one person or another, usually a French general, some rich guy, or like a German general. But in this particular case, historically, she was thought to be a spy for the Germans during World War I.
Oh, interesting.
And so they convicted her and killed her with a shooting firing squad. But great movie. If you want to get into those historical, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but look it up. Genre. So what's your number 8?
So I will say I have an honorable mention just for fun.
Well, I have one too, but I skipped it.
It's Austin Powers.
Yeah, baby, yeah! Mine was 3 Days of the Condor.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
totally
different. You went for the comedy.
I went for
the serious
Yeah.
CIA. 3 Days of the Condor. Robert Redford. You had your Michael Myers at his best. Oh, stop, baby.
Yeah.
What's his?
Yeah. Austin Powers. It was a good movie. But all right. So my top 8 starts with Mission Impossible. Ghost Protocol. And so this is like, I think the 5th one that they did, maybe the 4th or 5th one, I can't remember. But anyways, in Ghost Protocol, what I clearly remember about it was it takes them to Dubai. And
he does the famous jumps out of the giant skyscraper.
Yeah, and he actually scales down the skyscraper at a high speed, running down the skyscraper. And then a huge sandstorm comes in. Do you remember this one? The sandstorm comes in, and he's chasing a guy in the sandstorm. And like all these people are trying to get into the hotel, like while the sandstorm's going on. And like, you know, he sees the guy he's chasing, and he's about 40 feet ahead. Then the sandstorm gets worse, and then he can only see 20 feet ahead. Then he can only see 10 feet ahead. Then he can't see anything.
Yeah.
And he's like feeling his way around looking for this guy. But it was a great movie. I remember walking out of the theater going, wow, that was a great movie. So, you know, Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise, you know, Mission Impossible franchise, started off as a TV show in the 60s. But, you know, he's really revived it as a movie franchise, and there's more Mission Impossibles coming. But I love Ghost Protocol.
He basically owns that franchise.
He does.
Now. I mean, he didn't start it. I mean, Peter Graves from...
Right.
Have you seen any Gladiator movies
Yeah.
lately? Jimmy?
Yeah. Joey.
No, it was Jimmy.
Joey. I promise you it's Joey.
I think it was Jimmy. We'll have to post up here. I think it was Jimmy.
$5 bet?
$5 bet!
Okay.
Joey, you like movies about gladiators?
All right.
So what are we going into? My next
You're
one,
number 7.
I'm going to put we've talked about this previously, our gentleman who just unfortunately died, Sidney Poitier.
Oh, yeah.
Mine is Sneakers.
Did
I beat you to the punch?
No, I thought about putting it on there.
I put him on there.
But
Sneakers.
I didn't.
And that was actually another Robert Redford. I talked about 3 Days of the Condor earlier, but Robert Redford, Sidney Poitier. I know there's a couple other people in there that are more prominent, but just such a well done spy movie where
it was really good.
You know, but comedic at the same time. There's an element of danger. Highly recommend, and it's kind of fallen off people's radars because it came out at a certain time.
92.
92, and then you never hear about it again. It never gets any airplay. It's you know, it's like Queen was for a long time. Queen, the music group, it disappeared until Mike Myers brought them back.
Yeah.
For
what? I don't know.
Wayne's World.
Oh, Wayne's World.
They disappeared. They were never on the radio for the longest time. And
Bohemian
then
Rhapsody
came back, and then all of a sudden, where did these group come from?
Yeah.
So what are we on
Sneakers.
Here?
That was your
Sneakers.
number.
What's number 7 for you?
All right. I'm going to go with James Bond. For Your Eyes Only.
I knew that was slipping in there somewhere.
So this is...
your favorite James Bond.
My favorite James Bond is Roger Moore.
The Blue Eyes of Roger Moore.
And the reason why I love this movie is I remember seeing it at the theater as... I think this came out in like 82, 83, somewhere around there. So I'm like 12, 13 years old. And I remember the beautiful Carol Bouquet. Do you remember her?
Who?
Carol Bouquet.
Oh, yeah, the French actress. Yeah. Never mind Sheena Easton singing the
she's
the
singing
intro,
For Your Eyes Only,
which
yes.
is,
But-
can't say it.
But for 2 years, my fantasy woman was Carol Bouquet.
Ooh.
After I saw that movie. I was
Did you have a poster up in your room?
No. They didn't know. And then, of course, you didn't have the internet at the time to go check out pictures of her, but everything. But
It was difficult back then to find pictures of your crush.
Yes. But, unless it was like Farrah Fawcett or something like that, you could go find those.
Carol Bouquet.
Yeah, but Carol Bouquet.
She was like an archery.
Yes.
Like
she had a crossbow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Her name in the movie was Melina. So,
wasn't Melina shoots a lot or something?
It's like have a lot or something like that. It was something Greek. It was Greek.
Bouquet,
but she was, because she played a Greek character.
Right.
But, oh my gosh. But Roger Moore was great. Carol Bouquet was great. And then I just loved the movie. And so this is the one that I will watch more than any other James Bond films is For Your Eyes Only.
Yeah, my son loves James Bond. It's probably his favorite movie. It is his favorite movie genre, and so we're constantly, when a new James is coming out, we're like, let's start from the beginning and like start working our way up. But this time we didn't make it past Sean Connery.
Oh.
When the last one, we just didn't have enough time.
Yeah.
So we're going into number 6. My number 6 is La Femme Nikita. So for any of you who have never watched a foreign film, this is probably your first intro into this, but I mean, this is about a female, I don't remember the exact storyline trope with her, but she is brought into, she was on the streets, if I remember correctly, and dying, and a poor person, blah, 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 beggar, family died, mom died, and then of course, a street-savvy Frenchman brought her into the club, and the club is a governmentally sponsored assassin group, and they've groomed her, they've trained her, they've shown her how to do all this massive killing maneuverability, and then they release her on the world, and then she decides to turn on the owners.
And do you know who filmed or who directed that movie?
Who?
Luc Besson.
Oh, Luc Besson.
Luc Besson.
Luc Besson.
Yeah.
But it has and then that actor who shows up in a lot of different movies. I can't think of the guy's name, but the one of the main actors, the man who brought her in. He also played Van Gogh in the last French movie of Van Gogh, where he chopped his ear off. I can't think of the guy's name. But great movie, lots of action, lots of intrigue, fashion. If you're into the style side of the French genres, great movie. So what's your number 6?
My number 6 is The Kingsman. Do you know The Kingsman? The first one, because there's actually 3 of them now.
Yeah.
Well, there's the 2 modern day ones, and then the most recent Kingsman was like kind of the beginning of the Kingsman back in the early 1900s.
Oh, have you seen it?
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either.
Well, we'll have to review that.
We will have to review that.
Yeah. So, no, the first one, The Kingsman, was really like, I remember watching this and thinking, where is this going? I wasn't 100% sure if it was a comedy or was it an action movie, like from the trailer.
Right.
And then I went and saw it, and it was like, wow, so much action. Very funny. Right. Very well scripted. Samuel L. Jackson's in it again as the bad guy. Remember?
No, I do not remember.
Remember, he was the bad guy. That was like, he had the hat backwards, and then like he was taking all these rich people and like somehow turning them as part of his gang or whatever.
I guess I'm stuck in the last one where people's heads were blowing up.
Yeah. So that was a different one, but
okay.
Yeah, and then he actually was in that church that what is it, Ray Fiennes goes to, and like it's the biggest action scene in the church, where it's like a southern church where everybody's activated against him and he's fighting everybody.
I'm gonna have to watch that again.
Oh my gosh,
totally drawn a blank.
It's actually one of the best action scenes. And I can't remember what song they were playing during it, but it was like one of the best action scenes to a song ever in a movie, and it was awesome. So, for me, number 6 is The Kingsman.
Okay, number 6, because I'm gonna have to watch it again.
Yeah.
I completely drawn a blank because the second one.
Hey, you know what?
What?
I won't. Don't tell anybody. I'll give you a password to my Voodoo account. I've got it there.
Ooh, thank you.
I've got over something like what 1,300 movies on my
I thought
Voodoo
you were
account.
up to like almost 2,000 at this point. Oh, well, you have Blu-ray like 5,000
Blu-rays, but on my Voodoo streaming account, I own about 1,300 movies.
All right.
So.
Well, I'm gonna have to tap that.
Okay.
So we are on
Your number
my
5.
number 5, and it's going to be Atomic Blonde.
Atomic Blonde with
Yes,
Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron. I thought they did a great job with the intrigue, with the spy genre. A lot of little like who's doing what. A lot of action sequences, and she, obviously she's fashionable.
Yep.
She's very fit. Let's put it that way.
Yep.
But very cool sequences. That one where she flies out the window with like a rope tied around somebody's neck to kind of save herself from being shot. Great overall storyline and action. You can't lose with that. So what's your number 5?
My number 5 is from my number 1 all-time director, which is. Do you remember who I said?
No, I don't.
Steven Spielberg?
Oh, yeah, right. Spielberg. I was going to say Denis Villeneuve.
No. Steven Spielberg directed a movie called Munich. And have you seen Munich?
Yes, I have, with Mr. Jack, or Mr. Bana.
Eric Bana.
Eric Bana.
And Daniel Craig. Those two.
Oh, is he part of the team?
He's part of the team.
Oh.
So, you want to know how to deal with terrorists? This is how you deal with terrorists. So, Munich, what it's about is the 1972 Olympics in Munich.
Yeah.
Terrorists basically murdered the entire Israeli
Olympic team.
Yeah. So, what does Mossad, which is the secret agency of Israel, do? They recruit 5 ex-Mossad agents and give them all kinds of capabilities and power, but they say, we're going to disavow you. But your goal
is a bunch of 007s.
Basically, they're like disavowed.
Right.
I mean, like, and they tell them that up front. But they say, your job is to hunt down, and they, like, name the, 15 terrorists that were behind this. You're going to hunt them down wherever they are. You're going to go into their country even, and you're going to hunt them down and kill them.
Right.
And so that's what they do, is they just start, researching where these guys are, what their patterns are, and they hunt them down and kill them. And it was a great movie. It was very gripping. It is based on a true story. I mean, so, but it's just, it was, you talk about secret deep cover agents. These guys were deep cover, and it was a great movie.
And there's an element of, have we become the bad guys? Right?
No, I don't think there's any element of that.
And there is, if Eric Bana.
No. Well, he might.
It's a great movie. I mean, in other words, there's some soul searching going on.
Well, there
because
is.
Basically, they're just assassins to go after people, and they find,
Right.
I'm not justifying anything here in one way or the other.
Well, it was punishment for actions that they took.
Oh, yeah. No, it was a great movie. I mean,
And I remember, one of the ways that they would, assassinate people is they had these, blow dart guns. Do you remember that?
No.
They would go, oh, no, it wasn't. It was like a push thing. And they would push these, little straws or whatever, and it would shoot out a dart, hit somebody in the chest, and they'd be dead. It was
obviously poison based.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So that was your number 5. So we're on 4 here.
We are on 4.
Number 4, because remember, we're talking about secret agent, spy, assassin movies.
Yes.
Taken.
Liam
Neeson, a man of certain talents.
I love me some Neeson.
I've got certain skills that will definitely prove important for me to kill you.
Yes.
But great movie, lots of a little bit of humor in the sense that he hangs out with his CIA buddies and his daughter gets kidnapped by whatever.
Yeah.
And then he basically proves the crap out of his special skills.
Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. and I will kill you.
Goes on a killing spree, it's just tracks him down and finds him, and it's a great movie. There's Taken 1, Taken 2, Taken 3.
Oh, yeah.
Did they do Taken 4 or no?
No, they haven't, but...
They probably will, because every one of them are such well done, and, and it's one of those rare movies where somebody came up with an idea, and it's been able to pay off in so many different movies.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a CIA guy who has a special set of skills,
Yeah.
who is able to go after the terrorist / killer / governmental agent,
Well, yeah.
He's pissed, and he's pissed.
Because one of his friends is like, I think, what country is it that they're in? France or something? Or that he has to go to it in the first one?
Yeah.
And he's like a local kind of guy, but even that guy turned on him.
Turkey.
Yeah, Turkey.
I think it was Turkey.
And he had to take that guy out, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah, Liam Neeson at his best, I must say. Because, he's done a lot of movies, and he's kind of always, a lot of times he's kind of playing the same character in a lot of these later movies. But the Taken genre, the Taken collection, top notch. You can't go wrong with any of them. I'm kind of surprised they haven't come out with the Taken Steel Blu-ray collection.
They have.
A special case.
No? Oh, they have.
They have?
Yeah.
Okay. You probably have all of them.
I don't have the steel
Right.
books.
So what's your number 4?
My number 4, I'm going to go with Mission Impossible again. This time, Fallout. And this is the one where Henry Cavill teams up with Tom Cruise.
Mr.
And
Superman himself.
You got Rebecca Ferguson, who you like in that.
Yes, I do.
And they're going out after, kind of what they termed as, a leader of kind of a terrorist group. Henry Cavill's on his team. But then Henry Cavill ends up turning on him. And do you remember that?
Spoiler?
Yeah.
Well, so we're going to have to talk about this because that's my number 3, by the way. So you beat me to the punch.
Yeah.
My number 3 is also Mission Impossible Fallout.
Fallout.
Yeah.
That is the best Mission Impossible episode. Mission Impossible 2, 3. Then there's the ones that have names like Ghost Protocol, Fallout,
right?
Stuff
and
like
all
that.
All of them are top.
They're all
movies.
good.
You can't go wrong.
You cannot go wrong. The only one that's, to me, and I've revisited all of them. Mm-hmm. The only one that's a little bit boring is the very first Mission Impossible.
It's very period.
Yeah, and it's
so 90s.
Yeah, but once you it was like
it's
more
Emilio Estevez in that one too.
And it's more like kind of by the book. It doesn't have as much action. It's more
right.
Cerebral. The next one's all starting with 2. All have tons of action in it.
2 was a lot of heavy. The
motorcycle
thing. Yeah.
So
that was the John Woo one, number 2.
Yeah,
and it kind of had the classic John Woo, like.
Yeah. So from that point on,
right.
Suddenly Ethan Hunt is like a big action man. You know what I mean? Compared to number 1, but they're all good. But the best one is Fallout.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with you. There was so much intrigue in that one where you're like, with the Henry Cavill thing, where you're like, oh, he's a good guy, and then all of a sudden he turns it in that fight scene in the bathroom.
Oh, in the bathroom. Up against the mirrors. And
right. And ironically, or coincidentally, it's very similar to the opening scene of Casino Royale with Daniel Craig, where he beats the crap out of the guy in the bathroom.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bathroom scenes in these spy movies where they, of course, have to throw their heads against sinks and things like that. But awesome movie.
Yeah.
So that was my number 3. We already jumped into it because we talked about it. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is John Wick.
John Wick. Well, damn it, that's my number 2.
No! Really?
Yes.
So let's talk about some John Wick.
All right, John Wick. Wait, we got to bring him out. Where is he? John Wick.
John Wick.
Here he is. He's being put out in homage. John Wick, can you see him?
Oh, yeah. That is probably the baddest assassin right there. So he's actually an assassin in the first John Wick that has gone into retirement. And he wants to just spend time with his wife because she
I'm replacing
is
our
ill.
skull.
She is ill and she's died of cancer.
Right.
But remember, the Russian mob just happens to have a chance meeting with him at a gas station.
With his hot end Mustang.
Yes.
Mint, sweet Mustang. I think it's a 1969, if I remember, hatchback.
And they can't take the fact that he doesn't want to sell it.
He doesn't want to sell it.
So they they track where he lives down, go after him, give him a good beating, and kill his dog.
And that is a trope in movies. If you never kill the dog, but in this particular case, you're going to start a movie off and you want an enemy, that is the way to do it. Because when they did that, oh my God.
And what they did was they awakened the sleeping giant. They awakened the Baba Yaga.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, exactly. I mean, I got to give it to, if Keanu Reeves had any input into the storyline on these John Wicks, I mean, they are so appealing. What is the name? It's Maga Krav, or what's the name of the martial arts they're doing?
Krav Maga.
Krav Maga.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many.
Which is
almost like weirdly.
Which is an Israeli martial arts that is created by Mossad, which is.
I thought it was a Brazilian, more like.
No. That's jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Oh. Krav Maga is an Israeli martial arts created by Mossad.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that part, but. I mean, they have created like these very almost like operatic moments where he goes in, and there's in the first one especially when he's tracking down the guy who's the son of the lead mafia guy who killed his dog, and he goes through that nightclub, and it looks like it's one continuous camera sequence where he's literally going through the entire thing, doing all these like what would one could describe as martial dancing movements where he's flipping over, doing all this stuff. And he kills like 27 people, and I don't think the camera ever gets off of him. He goes through the entire nightclub and kills them all. So, I mean, it's such a great storyline and it's filmed.
And what's interesting about this is there's a YouTube special out there where they have like some special forces guys that watch certain action scenes, and they tell you how realistic it is. They actually rate these very high because if you watch as highly realistic, because when you watch a lot of movies that are shoot 'em ups, their bullets are almost endless, right?
Like the last thing we just reviewed.
Well, you're right.
Matrix Resurrection.
Yeah.
How many bullets can you shoot at somebody and he misses them all somehow?
In John Wick, they are very conscious about how many bullets they're shooting before the magazine is expended, and he has to reload. So you will see in John Wick, more than any other movie, you see him reloading, which is not common for a lot of these action movies. So he's wasting his magazine, taking it out and reloading. And you know what? When 1 came out and I heard 2 was coming out, I said, no way they can top this or even make this on the level. They did. Yeah. When 3 came out, I said, no way they can keep it at this level. They did. Yeah. So can't wait to see what happens with number 4. And I love John Wick.
John Wick.
John Wick.
You know, and my 16-year-old loves John Wick too. I would say, I mean, he loves James Bond. He loves John Wick. You know, we bond over that a bit. But I have to agree with you on the whole, like, how are they making these movies consistently great? And I have to say that Keanu Reeves has a little bit of a say in a lot of this. Like, he's got some suggestions, even though he's not talked about in the storyline. But he's the common factor in all these movies. I don't think it's the same producer. It might be, but
no, it is. It's the same guys.
But is it the same screenwriters?
Yeah, and I'll just let you know, it's 2 guys that wrote this movie and directed this movie, and they were well-known Hollywood stuntmen that had never directed before, and they wrote this movie. They wrote this movie, and they scripted this movie, and they had worked with Keanu Reeves in a prior movie, and they're like, hey, we're gonna make this low budget kind of movie. Will you star in it? We need a star. And Keanu Reeves read the script and he goes, I'm in.
I'm doing it.
I'm in.
I'm in.
And you know what?
Thank you, Keanu, for doing it. No one else could have done it.
I showed my girls the first John Wick, like after it came out on Blu-ray the very first time, and they were like, it was like movie night at my house, and there was other movies to choose from, and I was like, no, I'm going to show you guys John Wick. And they're like, we don't want to watch this. We don't want to watch this. So when it was done, they go, this was awesome. And then when John Wick 2 came out, and I said, oh, John Wick 2's coming out. We want to see it. We want to see it. My teenage girls, we want to see it. So they love John Wick 2.
Right.
And girls love it.
I know, and that's the great thing about the storyline, because he's got like a lot of emotional turmoil built into the character. I mean, he's obviously revealing a lot of things as the stories go along. I mean, they had Halle Berry in the last one.
In the 3.
They brought dogs back again,
Yep.
but thankfully, in this particular case, they didn't get killed. But I mean, you got to give it to the guy. I mean, he has been able. Keanu Reeves has been able to touch a lot of zeitgeist with the movies he's done.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done so. I mean, we talked about this.
Not Matrix Resurrections.
No, unfortunately, sorry.
Yeah.
But Matrix in general, we'll talk about that. But
All right.
he's top-notch movie. So what are we talking about here? We're number 2. I talked about number 2 for me, so we're in number 1 now.
No.
No, you're number 2. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Casino Royale.
Oh, well.
Which I know is your number 1.
It's my number 1.
Yeah.
Damn it!
I know. What is this? So
Number 1!
I knew we didn't know each other's list, but I knew Casino Royale would be your number 1 because you are such a huge James Bond lover, and Daniel Craig is your favorite one, and Casino Royale is Daniel Craig's best James Bond. And I didn't hear it in your top 7, so I knew that it was coming.
It was coming?
Yeah. So that's my number 2, but I love that movie. It is so good.
Yeah.
Do you know how many times I've just watched the whole poker scene? Because I love poker, but the fact that they poison him during the poison...
Well, except he's playing Baccarat. He's not playing poker.
He's playing Texas Hold'em. Poker.
No, well, it's Baccarat.
Another $5 bet?
Whoa.
$5 bet.
All right, $5 bet. He's playing Baccarat.
I'm getting so rich on this episode, man.
I have a feeling next time you see us on camera, he'll be handing me a $10 bill.
He's going to be handing me $10 because I'm going to win both of these $5.
Baccarat in Casino Royale, not poker.
Guaran frickin' to you, it's Texas Hold'em. As a Texas Hold'em player, I know Texas Hold'em, and it's Texas Hold'em.
Maybe they're doing some weird hybrid on camera.
No, in fact, the guy, when they announced the game to begin, he goes, the game is Texas Hold'em. And then they start
But
playing.
some of it, they're playing Baccarat.
They do not play Baccarat.
They move the shoe around.
No, they do not play Baccarat.
All right. Well, we might have to actually have an entire episode about that particular scene.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. As you know, the game is no limit, Hold'em poker. 5 communal cards, 2 in the hole. Monsieur Mendel here represents the Basel Bank, Switzerland, holding the stakes.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, that whole scene where he's poisoned and he has to run out and get the defibrillator. Yeah. And then she comes. What's her name again? She's beautiful.
Vesper Lynn.
No, but in real life, Lauren Green or something. Something Green.
Eva Green.
Eva Green. Beautiful.
How long can I stay off camera?
What are you doing, Ty?
I can't get back. Help!
Do you need help up?
No, I can get it.
Okay. So, but she comes and helps out, and that is just one of the greatest scenes in all of movie lore.
Runs out there, jumps in his car, gets his Aston Martin. He's like, knock things down. But yeah, I love that movie. I mean, it starts with the whole parkour thing. There was so many. That whole fight scene in the stairwell where they're throwing knives back.
I like the relationship he has in the Caribbean with that beautiful lady. She turns up dead. You know what I mean? And then
with Le Chiffre.
He has the eye, the milk.
That movie was very close to the book.
Yeah.
And I mean, they obviously had to fill in some scenes, but it just well done.
That's where they introduce the FBI guy or the CIA guy.
Well, no.
Felix?
Yeah, in the first book. Felix Leiter.
Yeah. Well, in Casino Royale, he'd never been in any other James Bond movies.
No, yes, he has. He's
Oh,
always been a white guy in all the other
Oh,
ones.
really?
Yes.
Okay.
Felix Leiter is a very popular white guy, and he's always the FBI guy, but it played like a lot of different characters. And one of them was in one of the Mission Impossibles. It was during the, I can't think of the guy's name, Timothy Dalton phase. Felix Leiter was a guy that was on one original TV Mission Impossibles.
Wow.
I don't remember the guy's name, but he was.
Oh, so they're crossing over Mission Impossible to James Bond.
That particular. It was that one. I
did not know
where
that.
Felix Leiter when he went down to Latin America, and Timothy Dalton had was where like
Moonraker?
the shark. No, Timothy Dalton.
Well, you said when they went down to South America. That was Moonraker was the Brazil episode.
Well, this is the one where they went. Oh, it was Florida Keys where there was the shark. I think Joe Don Baker was in that one too, or something like that. But
okay,
I might be wrong. But anyways, we'll put a picture up of who I'm talking about. But the totally outstanding.
So that's your
action,
number one.
Killing and all that.
Romance. Saddened.
The Vesper.
I always have fun when they interrogate Daniel Craig. I always feel really good from that.
That was when he was wearing the butt naked with the straw.
And they like.
No! To the right! To the right! To the right! You are a funny man, Mr. Bond.
They like swing the thing. Oh my gosh.
Oh man,
your Charlies.
My Charlies?
Your Charlie makers. But anyways,
great movie.
Yeah.
So that's your number one. Since that was my number one, what's your number one?
So what do you think is going to be my number one with process of elimination? What have I have not mentioned yet.
Well, I don't know. We're all over the place here with number one. Oh, well, I don't know. What are we talking about?
You don't have anything from this series in your top 8.
No, I do not, because it probably didn't enter my mind.
The Bourne Ultimatum.
Oh, he was in my honorable mentions.
So, The Bourne Ultimatum with Matt Damon. That is, to me, I can watch this over and over and over again. And it is so cool about, like, you know, how Jason Bourne is so highly trained. He knows how they're surveilling him. He knows what's going on because he's been trained to do that himself. So when in the Bourne Ultimatum, when I think it's Diane Ladd is her name, who's playing.
Diane Ladd?
Is it Diane Ladd that's playing? I think it's Diane Ladd who's playing the CIA agent.
I don't remember that. I mean, I've seen some of the Bournes, but they all kind of blend together, and that's probably why I left them off my list. They don't stand out enough.
It is Joan Allen. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah,
Joan Allen. She's playing the CIA agent, and she's talking to Jason Bourne on the phone, and she's like in the background, are you guys tracking him? Where is he at? Where's he at? And then he like says, oh, by the way, that guy right behind you, and he like describes the room, and she's like looking out the window, and they play that Bourne music. It is so great. But all of the Bourne movies are awesome. Jason Bourne, the very first one, is a little bit slow, and then the one they did with Jeremy Renner, not as great. But this was the best Jason Bourne, is the Bourne Ultimatum. Highly recommend it. So that's my number one.
That's your number one.
Yes.
All right. We just finished the number ones.
Yeah. So that
Shannon.
is our top 8 secret agent, spy, and assassin movies of all time. So what we would like you to do is now go down and comment. Tell us what your top 8 movies are. Or is there something we missed? Did we miss Matt Helm with Dean Martin? Should we have put that on there?
Did we miss The Long Kiss Goodnight?
Did we miss that?
Is that one of your top movies? Or maybe Hannah?
Oh my gosh.
Or maybe even Leon the Professional?
Leon the Professional.
Or Top Secret?
How about North?
That is the one top movie of all time.
How about North by Northwest, where
I'm surprised you didn't put any Hitchcock on it.
where Cary Grant is not a secret agent, but all the secret agents think he's a secret agent.
Right.
So they're tracking him and taking him down as if he was a secret
Or
agent.
maybe even the Orson Welles classic, The Third Man.
Oh my gosh. Or The Manchurian Candidate with Frank Sinatra. What about that? There's a lot of movies. Tell us what we missed. Put it in the comments and tell us,
And by this date, you comment, you will win the Blu-ray of The Protege.
That is correct. So tell us in the comments, subscribe to us, like this video, and we will see you in Act 3 when we review the movie The Protege.